Looks like we're about to
Also,
drop, so I'm going to go ahead and launch this video. Guys, we'll see you on the map. Why didn't that work?
In the southern Arctic Ocean lies an archipelago of Caledonian granite. Frigid and foreboding, these frozen rocks and sparse fauna will shortly become unwilling witnesses to the rigours of naval combat. This is Northern Waters. Northern Waters is a 42 by 42 kilometre domination style map with 3 cap points running in a line from west to east. The Alpha cap is on the left, Bravo is in the centre, and Charlie is on the right. Capture Area Alpha is isolated from the map's centre by 2 large islands along the eastern edge. These islands provide limited cover for radar cruisers who may want to deploy nearby, while a narrow channel connects the cap to the middle of the map. In the centre, Cap Bravo contains hard cover in the centre for intrepid destroyer captains hoping to secure control. Just like the Alpha Cap though, there are islands along the eastern edge that provide at least some cover for radar cruisers to defend from. The scattered islands in and around Cap Charlie create challenges on both offence and defence. Not only do they constrict the movement of battleships in the area, they provide places for lighter units to take shelter behind and launch ambushes from. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Northern Waters.
Alright, welcome back everybody. Here we go. And does anybody have any iron? I need some iron here.
Do you really? Because it looks like
Yes.
your team brought all the iron they could. I mean, they could have brought more.
Yeah.
Well, no, Kremlin was banned, wasn't it? I was going to say they could have brought more, but they got Kremlin banned.
Oh my god, guys. So CUTER over here, we've got Ohio and Yamato. So a little confusion there about which nation. but Moskva after that. So
Big
Yeah.
giant wall of Moskvas. We've seen CUTER bring the Iron Curtain before, Zath, but you and I have not cast it yet this event, so this will be interesting to say the least. 007 opting for a more traditional composition. Double Shimakaze and Summers to go with their own pair of Moskvas, a Venezia, Hindenburg, and double Yamato. Now, Zath, you and I have covered the Iron Curtain before. We've played against the Iron Curtain in clan battles. Talk to me then about how this game will unfold, because you and I know the story, but let's make sure that folks at home understand what they're about to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see both sides really doing it. More CUTER than O7 because O7 brought destroyers. But basically, the Wall of Stalin works where you just spread out your ships about 1 grid square apart. And you can see that happening now at CUTER. And then when you say go, everybody pushes at the same pace. And that's not full speed. That's usually like a quarter to a half speed. And the idea is over time, you just overwhelm with your position, with your angles, and with your health point pool. Take a look at the difference in hit points, guys. Over almost 160,000 hit point difference. To put that in perspective, a Moskva is 65,000 hit points. So we're talking about 2.5 heavy cruisers worth of hit points on CUTER's side.
Indeed we are. As you can see, the wall is starting to line up here. We got Invo's Moskva way over in the 10 line. On the far end, on the 1 line, that's Shroff's Moskva just about to enter their respective squares. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, Zath. We know the Summers torpedoes are what, 15 kilometers? Help me out here.
16 and a half.
16 and a half. All right. But we know that 007 was running 20-kilometer Shimakaze torpedoes. That's going to allow their Shimakazes, that's going to allow their Shimakazes to play a little farther out in front of these Moskva radars than they might otherwise be able to, and that could make a big difference.
Now, you're absolutely right. And the big thing about when you have the Stalin wall here is basically you cannot allow the ships on your team to get focused out. As soon as one ship goes in that Stalin wall, everything starts to crumble. So rotating your ships is going to be key. CUTER has Admiral PNG at the front right now with the Ohio. He's going to start getting focused and farmed, and he's going to have to kind of back up and kind of rotate himself out and let Destroyer Ayanami and Congo Pride take over and start, getting hits.
Yeah.
That's the key to this.
The other thing you're going to see, and we see it already because of the destroyers, right? They're going to give up total board control early on. And there you see it now with, we're not even to the 5-minute mark, and they're almost 200 points down. That is to be expected. The Iron Curtain will give up complete control of every cap for a time. But as the wall advances, as the curtain descends, they will slowly, inexorably begin to make inroads into the cap circles as well.
Yes. And remember that these destroyers don't have heals, whereas all of the CUTER ships have heal.
Every single CUTER ship has a heal, and they start off, as Zath mentioned earlier, with about 160,000 hit point advantage.
And that's kind of a big deal because Julius Caesar already is down a quarter of his hit point.
Well, and they're going to radar him again.
Now
What surprises me is that he's allowed himself to get caught by radar at all because with his 20-kilometer torps, he doesn't have to allow it. But it's happened nonetheless.
Right.
On the other end of the board, we see Admiral P&G's Ohio already into the A cap. Kind of those points have stopped. That'll start flipping over. The other two caps continuing to tick. Double O moving out to nearly a 300-point lead with only 5.5 minutes gone, but we know that that's going to change eventually.
Now, one of the key component of this composition, and the reason why it's so important you understand how the Stalin wall works, is because with these Moskvas spread out the way they are, they can cover each other with radar, which prevents a Shimakaze or other destroyer to get on the flank and send those juicy torpedoes in.
Moskva. CUTER's got at least one ship already under a tremendous amount of threat. I am Oyman over here down under 3,000 HP.
Yeah.
For CUTER to lose a Moskva this quickly would be very, very, very bad for them. Lots of shells coming in on him now. Venezia shells, Moskva shells from across the map. Here come Yamato shells. This might be it, Zath. And it is.
Yep. So now what happens is that wall starts to crumble a little bit on this side.
You're missing a link. You're missing a link in the chain link fence.
Exactly. So what I was commenting on earlier about the destroyer thing is that all these, even though they're 20-kilometer torpedoes, they're almost all fired at bow on targets, which makes it really easy to be dodged.
Yes. I think honestly, Zath, I think that MCAT's Venezia over here on the 10 line was probably at least significantly responsible for the amount of damage they got into that Moskva. And it looks like, is Invo going to take a torp? He is going to take one of midships, take a Venezia torp of midships. So now, with one link in the chain exposed, if I'm 007, I'm really looking at the C cap as the place where I'm going to try and put some pressure on these guys over here. And you can see that they've rotated the team away from B completely. You've got one unit over here. This is Moskva, Yamato, Shimakaze, and Venezia working the C cap, trying to hold the line over there, as the rest of the team is over in the southwestern corner of the map, holding out against Double Moskva and Ohio.
Right. Now look at Desert Rat over here.
Looking pretty rough.
10,000. He's doing okay, but Hindenburg and Venezia, we've commented before, are really good anti-Moskva ships.
They really are. Venezia getting full pins through the deck with her SAP. Hindenburg able to do the same thing with the HE shells. Desert looking like he's going to run all the way back to the J line. He probably doesn't have much of a choice. Now, the other thing that they've done that I like, Zath, they've pulled the Summers back over here. Now they're actually getting better cross-torping angles on these Moskvas. They haven't. Yes. I don't know that they've landed any yet, but they're going to start forcing them to make really bad decisions because sooner or later the torpedo soup is going to catch somebody. It's simply a matter of time.
Right. And you can see, I'm looking at the whole group here. They've all hit about the same part in the grid squares here. They're all at the E line, with the exception of a couple ships that are on the F line now.
Yep.
And you can see what happens. OO7 is basically choked off the map. And they have to push back because now they lose in 5 minutes.
Yep. 007 now, CUTER now with complete control of all the caps. We knew this was going to happen. We talked about it earlier. Although they are getting close to taking Schroeff's Moskva off the board over here on the 2 line. Well, the 1 line, really. I mean,
Desert Rat's about to go down.
Yeah, that would be it. That's points that those guys cannot afford to give up. They have to keep Desert on the board. They can't.
It's worth noting Right now, there's almost a 2 times disparity in hit points between the two
It's
teams.
pretty significant. A single shell will kill Desert, and I think here it comes. No, the Ohio missed.
Nope. Desert pulled the brake.
He did indeed. More shells coming in, but those are going on to UMG's Yamato. Schruff now on about 6,000 HP as Eagle lances Shimakaze getting picked up by radar. He hasn't really taken any damage, but up to this point in the game, but he certainly has now.
Yep.
The cap advantage starting to wear down that significant lead that 007 had built for themselves. See them now, they're really hitting Invo hard over here on the 10 line. I really think they're going to get him at some point, Zath.
Oh, it's a matter of time for him.
But they've just got to keep the pressure on. Those 20-kilometer torps continuing to roll in. Desert Rat
if
has...
is able to stay hidden, he should be okay. Never mind.
694 HP for Invo. That's the only thing keeping them from a 2-ship lead for 007, but there we have our lead change, about halfway mark of the match. As we have our first lead change, CUTER moving out to a lead as the Venezia... Oh! Invo gets a heal off and dodges the Venezia shells.
Yep.
He's got more torpedoes coming in. I think the Shima's finally going to get him. He is, Zath.
Oh yeah, he dodged right into those.
Dodged right into them. The lead flips back to 007 as now they finally have a hole in the wall.
It's okay. They still have 150,000 more hit points.
I know, but it'll require them to push into Kaga Kaini's Yamato, but now they can finally do that. No one on the 9 or 10 line to keep them out.
Yeah, if I'm CUTER, at this point, I'm probably trying to rotate somebody, although this map, it's really hard to do that. I'm probably putting Kashima farther on the flank, but he's not moving, really.
It is definitely a challenge to rotate people through the middle of this map because there's defined corridors they have to go through. Lead flips back again, of course, on the strength of the CUTER's cap advantage here. Julius Seizure will be the first person up here to really start trying to dislodge Kaga from this position. His Shimakaze is going to be key in trying to recapture the C-cap for 007, but time is ticking away. They're going to have to do something. They've got coming up on 2 minutes.
Yep. Schroff is trying desperately to go hidden, but Eagle Lance is gonna prevent that from happening.
Eagle's doing a brilliant job of spotting for his team. Desert Rat, who was once on 600 HP, now back up to 18,000 as he clings the edge of the map here, trying to dump HE shells onto Shreff's deck.
The inability to get that kill is probably what's going to cost this game.
It is very possible. That's the thing about the Moskva composition, though, right? Like, you give up a lot of spotting. You're utterly reliant on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
90 seconds on the clock. The pressure's on. 007 having to make something. They at least have to get into the C-cap and try and stop the bleeding. But Julius Caesar has pulled up.
Despite losing 2 ships.
Yeah, they're 2 ships up, but they're still at a health disadvantage over 100,000. The destroyer torpedoes have not really done the work that they needed them to. That's not surprising. That's a testament to CUTER's skill with this team composition.
Clearly, they know this comp well.
Oh, yeah.
They executed it well.
They've executed it just about flawlessly, Zath.
Yep. So on my stream, we've been listening to music, and as soon as I saw this, I added the Russian national anthem, the Moscow song, and then the Soviet national anthem with like ear rape, super bass, like. Oh my God, it's been a meme. It's great.
30 seconds. Okay, now Julius is now into C. He's touching C. That extends the clock. No, he left the cap. 25 seconds then. He must be radar. That pushes him off the cap.
Yes.
They got to get a kill in 20 seconds, Zaf. It's not going to happen.
Well,
I say that, but look at Destroyer Ayanami. Look at Destroyer Ayanami, 1,600 HP. They could get him. They bagged CVs. Where was he? I missed him completely. The Amatos.
He was at B.
Oh my gosh! What a shot from Desert Fox. And if they bag Ayanami, that would be huge. Ayanami's on 600 HP. He's going out. Oh, no, he's healing.
He's healing up. Julius Caesar at 600 hit points. They want him bad.
Oh, my goodness, Saf. This is coming down to the wire.
18 seconds now.
Ayanami. They bag
Goes
Congo.
down.
Oh, my goodness. CUTER executing this flawlessly, but it's all coming apart with literally seconds in the match. Twice now they've been under. There he goes. There goes Ayanami. That's real breathing room now for OO. That pushes the timer back to a full minute at least.
Yep,
They're
and
up.
OO finally has a HP advantage. For
Well,
the first
they're up.
time this
They're up 5 ships. G36 is about to step onto B. That's going to stop some of the bleeding. There we go. That lengthens the timer. They're about to shove MCAT into C. That will lengthen the timer yet again. And there it goes. All right, they now have nearly 2 minutes to make up some ground here. They're going to be able to bag B. Like, that's going to happen. I just don't think that... I don't think... Well, no, CUTER is radaring G36. No, or they took a pot shot. I'm not sure. Okay, G36 has hard cover now.
people commenting on my video, this looks like a random battle.
Well, no, that's this strategy. Like, you couldn't
Yeah.
execute this strategy in a random battle. You don't have nearly
No
the
way.
coordination you need.
But the speed at which everything is falling apart, which they
Well,
haven't caught up to yet,
that's
but
fair.
they will.
That's fair.
That is very random battle-ish.
That you're not wrong. That's
Admiral going
fair.
down. Admiral's the
If
next
Admiral
target.
PNG goes, gosh, Zaf, there he goes.
You said at the
007,
beginning,
and now the timer
one-
flips. All 007 now has
Yep.
to do is stop dying. That's it. They've
GG.
successfully defeated the Iron Curtain as long as they don't die. I know it's not that that sounds easy, but it ain't. It's not that
No.
simple.
No, but I mean, like, Julius Caesar is 600 hit points.
Yeah, but there's nothing
no
left.
radar threat.
There's nothing left over that. Well, the Moskva can radar him, but I think he's out of range. Let's put them both up
That's
here.
what I'm getting at. There's no radar threat.
Yeah,
for
they'll
him.
never
So,
spot him
like,
again unless he screws up.
I'm sure in chat right now, we can't see chat, but I'm sure there's GGs flowing because that's it. Like, you can't come back from this if you're cute.
Yeah, you're 6 ships down. You literally were within seconds on multiple occasions. That's how razor thin this was. Kaga takes a flood from a Shimakaze torp in the bow. Looks like that one's going to stick for a bit. As now, they're finally onto A as well. And all CUTER point games cease. When they kill Kaga, that should be the game. Or a little bit, we're close enough to it anyway. And there it goes.
There he goes.
16 seconds on the timer. CUTER needs to bag a quick kill to stay in the game, and they don't do it. Wow, Zaf. Wow.
I got my death pick.
That was that was unreal. What an amazingly well-played game from 007. To defeat the wall of Stalin, the Iron Curtain. I mean, it's not that easy. Oh, what is this? Hang on a minute. There. Stupid.